Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome here to my channel. By day I work as a police officer here in Utah. After work, like most of you, my little shop right here is my happy place. I'm pretty excited to start this channel, share some content out there with the world. Here in my shop I do make a lot of knives, and I make a lot of wood projects as well, and I'm hoping to expand on my woodworking a lot in the very near future, and I'm going to be doing that. I'm going to be doing a lot of that here on the channel. This is just a quick little welcome and introduction. I'm going to show you around my shop. No reviews today, just going to kind of show you what I have to work with, talk about some things that I want to upgrade and get in the future. And I'll even show you some of the knives that I've built recently. So I do hope to post regularly. I'm unfortunately on call at work this next week, so it might take a week or two to get going, but my intentions are to post regularly. And that's going to be woodworking, new tools, tool reviews, maybe not how-tos, but how-I-dos. There's a difference. Just going to be building a lot of neat things. So let me show you here around the shop, show you what I'm working with, and then we'll go from there. None of this is going to be in any particular order. We're just going to start in one corner and work our way to the other side. That is my forge, just a little single burner Hell's Forge. Works great. Miscellaneous tongs and things underneath it. And the ammo can is where I keep my oil for quenching. Up on top of my little filing cabinet here is just a little DIY Kydex press, cutting board. Inside, there's really nothing too special inside. That's where I keep sandpaper, a lot of the owner's manuals for my equipment, things like that. I got the DeWalt 734. I actually picked that up recently on sale at Lowe's. I do have some plans in the future to add some shelves, maybe a cabinet, I don't really know yet. Next to that is some hammers. Can't have enough hammers. Ugh, that lighting's really poor. That's still really poor. That is my drill press. It's just a little 8-inch Wen. The drill press actually works really well. I'm actually surprised because it was only like 70 bucks. But upgrading to a bigger one is something that I'd like to do in the future. And then on the bench there's just miscellaneous drills, drill bits, gloves, things like that. Underneath is where I keep my battery chargers. There is a rock tumbler back there for stone washing knives, some Kreg jigs, miscellaneous things like that, nothing too fancy. And next to my table is my anvil. It's actually a really great little anvil. It's only like 70 pounds. I would like to upgrade in the future, maybe something around 150 pounds or bigger, but they're kind of expensive right now. There's a little better view of that with some of my hammers next to it. Next to the clamps there is my vise. And that's a Harbor Freight vise. Pretty cheap. Works really good, so no plans on upgrading that anytime soon. Up top there is just storage. A lot of that is various stills for knife making, some wood, things like that, dowels, even some leather working stuff for sheaths, but I do most of my sheath work in my gear room in the house. Right next to that is my files. That's just some of them. The little board back there just has some precision instruments on there. 1, 2, 3 blocks, some chisels, speed squares, things like that. 2 tape measures there. I've got tape measures everywhere. Tape measures are the first thing I lose in this shop. I think I've got 8 of them throughout this shop, and I can probably find 3 of them right now, and it's clean. Kind of. Right there is a DeWalt Porta bandsaw with a swag off-road table. Right next to it is some high carbon steel. I use that mostly for profiling knives, specifically when I'm doing stock removal projects. It actually works really well, and I save a lot of the scraps for forging. That was my first belt grinder for knife making. It is the Daytona. I believe it's the Daytona 2x42. They sell under a bunch of different names though. Next to the small belt grinder is another little, kind of a little hobbyist bandsaw. It does pretty good for cutting out handle scales. But again, I would like to upgrade to a bigger bandsaw, something that I can resaw materials on. That's probably not going to happen too soon, but something that I do want to bring here to the shop in the future. And obviously next to that was the old Harbor Freight Central Machinery sander. It works pretty good. I almost forgot to show you underneath this table. Shop vac. Oh yeah, I got the foot switch for the Porta bandsaw. Very convenient. And on this side is 2x42 belts and leaf springs. I use that steel for forging knives. It's 5160. Next to that little workbench there is my old toolbox. That was my uncle's toolbox. Nothing special in there, just miscellaneous hand tools. I do want to get a lot more hand tools and a bigger toolbox, so maybe that's something that's going to come in the future. Behind that is some levels. They're both kind of cheap budget ones. I think I got one from Harbor Freight, one from Home Depot. One's kind of a piece of junk, the other one works okay. And next to the levels are my bigger belts for my other belt grinder. It's a 2x72. It doesn't look like there's a lot there, but there's actually quite a few belts. Everything from 36 grit, I believe, up to 600, I believe. So that's that. Oh, there's my dust collector. That broom right there. Scrap wood left over from projects, and that's more scrap wood in the bin there. Most of that's just cut-offs and things like that. If it doesn't fit in that bin or the bin's full, I typically get rid of it, depending on what it is. But I do use a lot of scrap wood for projects around the garage. My cabinet here, up on top, that's just miscellaneous drawer slides and things like that, spare bolts. And underneath are bandsaw blades for the porta bandsaw. In the cabinet here, just miscellaneous hand tools, Milwaukee. I got a couple Milwaukee drills, impact driver. I love this thing right here. The pick that up backwards. The Ryobi Airstrike, fantastic little machine. Orbital sander, jigsaw, pocket screws for the Craig, pocket hole jig, just screws, nuts, bolts, drill bits. That's all handle material for knives. And pretty much everything else is just finished stuff for wood projects. And moving on to the other side of my shop. That's my newest piece of equipment. I actually just put that together today. I love that thing. It's a Powermatic 6-inch jointer. That's the HH, so it's the one with the helical head. I tested it out and man, it's beautiful. It is only the 6-inch. I would love an 8-inch or bigger, but first of all, they start getting really expensive. I have the room for it, might not have the money for it, but the biggest thing is power. My shop is not powered for 220. I do plan on having that in the future, not right now. That is my favorite piece of equipment here in the shop. That's the Ameribraid 2x72 belt grinder on the pedestal. I got all the bells and whistles with that thing. It has made knife making so much easier. I just love it. And that's what all those 2x72 belts were for, is for that machine there. And that is my router cable. That actually usually goes underneath the bench over there, but I was using it earlier. I've got the Bosch router in there, the 2 1/4 horsepower one that comes in the combo with the fixed base and the plunge base. I actually just made the drawers for it recently, so. And then we got the table saw. That's the Delta most of you are probably familiar with. I think it's the 36725 T2. I've been using that for a couple months, upgraded from an old Craftsman lunchbox style table saw. Such a good upgrade. I really like that thing. Yeah, maybe we'll talk a little bit more about that in a future video when I've you know, spent a little bit more time with it. But right now, I'm impressed. I like it. Works really good. It's just a 10-inch Ryobi miter saw. The miter saw does okay. I mean, it is pretty inexpensive, pretty cheap, probably one of the cheaper ones you can get. It does okay. I do want to upgrade that in the future. I'll stick with a 10-inch, but I need a sliding one. So I'm looking at the DeWalt's, the Milwaukee, I believe. I don't know, what are you guys using? I'd like to get a sliding one pretty soon. Yeah, just some miscellaneous clamps there. In the drawers, a couple of them are empty. I just put these drawers in recently. That's just, oh, that's my dust collection. RZ mask. Pens, pencils, digital calipers. I use this to make sure my oil's at a consistent temperature every time I heat treat a knife for consistency. The other 2 drawers below that are empty right now. I actually have things to put in them. I'm just not too sure what I want in each drawer yet. In this drawer here on the other side, I got the plunge base for the router, a doweling jig, various Craig jigs. Oh, there's that lovely thing. That fell off the table saw after about 1 cut. I need to get it stuck back on there, but it's really not a big deal. I don't use that a whole lot. Underneath, just various finishing stuff. Most of that's for knife making, but there are some oils and stuff I use in there for finishing wood. It's definitely probably more in here that I'm missing, but that's just a quick tour of the shop. If you have questions about any of the tools I have or what I think of them, go ahead and ask. Some of them are pretty new, so I don't have much of an opinion yet. The other ones have been around and I do have an opinion on. But that's really not what I wanted this video to be about. This is more just me welcoming you to my channel, short introduction, and showing you around the shop. A few knives here on the table. I've finished most of these within the last month or two. We'll show you. Go ahead and ask if you have any questions. Some of these are pretty cool. This one here. Took quite a bit of time to get the, focus. All the hand filing on the spine there. That's pretty cool. This one here, I really like this one. This is one of my favorite ones I have right now. This one also has a hand-filed spine all the way around it. Little Tonto. This one here I actually just finished yesterday. Little, kind of like a little mini Bowie knife. And that one there. Got a really pretty handle. I think I might have one piece of wood furniture out on my patio. It's probably about the only project outside of you know, the stuff, the benches and stuff in the shop that I've made recently. I'll go out on the patio and see if it's there. Yeah, and there's my nosy dog in the window. He really wants to be out in the shop right now. Too much noise going on out here right now. Everybody's doing kind of their final cleanup before winter, so we'll head back into the shop. So that's that. I do make a lot of knives, but I make a lot of wood stuff too. Again, you know, if you like woodworking, if you like knives, if you like tools, please subscribe to the channel. Don't hesitate to reach out with any comments, questions, concerns. I'm not, you know, an expert bladesmith. I'm not a professional carpenter. This is just a hobby, something I really enjoy doing. I love being out here in my shop, and if you guys like being in your shop, you know, maybe this is a channel you want to be a part of. So I do plan on posting regularly. Just got to get this next on-call work week out of the way, and then we'll be spending a lot of time in this shop over the winter. I do have another YouTube channel. If you're interested in that, it's mainly backpacking and fly fishing. I'm not going to post a link or anything here, but if you want to know what that is, just go ahead and ask and I'll let you know. I did revive an old knife making video from that channel. That's probably going to be the first video on this channel. Anyways, again, my name is Dustin. Welcome to my channel. We'll see you guys in the shop.